Hey YouTube, it's EverythingEpan here, and today we are going to be doing a Madden 17 connected franchise video, rebuilding the San Francisco 49ers. And I gotta say, this roster is absolutely disgusting. I gotta say, they are probably the worst roster you could probably ever deal with in a connected franchise. That even tops the Browns. This roster is just absolutely disgusting. We really don't have much to work with right here to trade for. But I know a couple days or so of free agency has gone on at the time of this video, and Colin Kaepernick opted out of his contract. But of course, I have the latest version of the rosters, and of course, they don't make those moves. I don't think they've updated this roster for a little bit, but Kaepernick definitely will be gone. Torrey Smith is probably gone as well. We need to work on this O-line. Joe Staley's gone for sure. On the defense, Antoine Bethea is out of here. Gerald Hodges, I believe, is in his 30s. Is he in his 30s? Oh, what am I thinking? He's 25. Let's see, Navarro Bowman, how old is he? He's 28. He's debatable. If I could find a suitable spot to land him, I might trade him. Ahmad Brooks is definitely gone, but I don't know. That's what I was thinking of, Ahmad Brooks. But enough said. We're going to go ahead and start out with some trades and see who we're getting rid of and maybe even who we're getting. So here we're trading Blaine Gabbert, Tremaine Brock, and a 4th-round pick this year for Leonard Williams from the Jets. They were the only team interested in Blaine Gabbert. There were a couple teams interested in Colin Kaepernick, but I figured I'd take him out of this offer and just trade him somewhere else in order to possibly get picks or something. But good trade there, got Leonard Williams. So here we're trading Colin Kaepernick, Tony Gerard Eddy, and a future 3rd for the #1 overall projected pick from the Browns. So here we're trading Ahmad Brooks straight up for Michael Brockers from the Rams. Definitely was not expecting that to go through, but I guess Brockers is on his contract year. But I'm definitely okay with just trading Ahmad Brooks for Brockers, so that's pretty interesting. So here we're trading Torrey Smith, Robinson, a cornerback, and a 3rd-round pick this year for Brandon Graham from the Eagles. We're sending Torrey Smith to his new home. Coincidentally, that he got signed by the Eagles in free agency. But let's make some more trades. All right, so with this trade, trading Gerald Hodges, Quentin Dial, and a 2nd-round pick this year for Aaron Rodgers, the bad man. That was an interesting trade. I'm sure a lot of you did not see coming. I was debating on whether or not to just wait it out and draft a rookie, but you know what? We're going to go with the big move. We're going to go with Aaron Rodgers. We're going to see how this works out. So we're going to make a couple more trades and head into the first season. So this really isn't too important of a trade until maybe till the next one. Just trading a couple of backup middle linebackers and a 5th-round pick for a 3rd. And that's going to go into, hopefully, my next trade. All right, with this trade, trading Vance McDonald, Joe Staley, and trading back their 3rd-round pick, the Giants' 3rd-round pick, for Odell Beckham Jr. And that gives Aaron Rodgers a weapon to work with. So I think we have maybe 1 or 2 more trades to do, and then we can sim. This trade, trading for a pick, we're trading away Tank Carradine, Eric Armstead, and Joshua Garnett for a 1st-round pick from the Browns, and that should end all my trades here. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the roster that we're looking at. And this is not a bad roster, other than the O-line here, and we're going to need new receivers. But Aaron Rodgers is on the team now, and as well as Odell Beckham, so those two will be a dynamic duo to connect with each other on. Still got to manage this a little bit more, kind of move people around and see what I'm working with here. So I'm going to do that quick, and I'll come up with you guys with the final roster. So what I should have done in that trade when I got the 1st-round pick from the Browns by trading away Tank Carradine and I don't remember who the other player was. I put in that right guard. I should have put in Antoine Bethea in order for that trade to go through. That I would have just had to do that. But so I just traded him away as well as Christian Ponder for a 7th rounder just to clear his cap hit out of there. But I'm going to hit you guys up with the final roster here quick, and I will sim after that. Okay, this is definitely my final trade. We're doing a future second, Glenn Dorsey and Robert Blair, I believe, for Zach Martin from the Cowboys. That is my final trade. Now I'm going to hit you guys with the final roster. So here's our final roster for season number 1. Improve the offense a little bit with Aaron Rodgers and Odell Beckham on the offense, and then grab Zach Martin real quick. So got to work on the offensive line a little bit. I mean, it's okay, but obviously not what we're looking for here. And then maybe tight end, and then I don't know how Carlos Hyde's going to do, so we'll see how he does first season. On the defense, really just the corners and really just all the secondary possibly to kind of work on next season. Other than that, maybe another probably middle linebacker or another linebacker. Otherwise, not that bad. So I'm going to go ahead and sim probably either week 3 to do some re-signings in the scouting, and I'll see you guys then. So we're going to check out the draft stories here. So we got a wide receiver, and that's it. Nothing for draft stories, really. And it's not a good one either. So I'm going to scout and sim to the midseason mark. We're 1-2 as of week 3, but I'm going to scout quick and sim to the midseason mark, and I'll see you guys then. So at the midseason mark, we are 1-6. That is rough. We are seeing a little bit of confidence drop in a couple of our players. I wasn't expecting us to go 1-6 the first year, but I mean, I guess that's just how it is sometimes. Obviously, last in the division. So we're going to see who we need to re-sign here. And if that's the case, actually really not anyone. I don't even know if I'll even bring back Andrew Tiller. Everybody else, honestly, is probably gone. Jeremy Curley's probably gone as well. Unless, well, if he takes the space contract, I'll keep him. And he does not. I might let him go. I'm going to let everybody else go. So really, we have nobody to re-sign. So I'm going to go ahead and sim to scout and then sim to the end of season number 1, and I'll see what our record is. All right, so at the end of season number 1, I have not looked at the record yet, and we went 2-14. So kind of good that we tanked the first season. So that should get Aaron T.S. The first overall pick. Obviously, lots of regressing going on with the confidence and everything. It said 2 players have regressed. Who do we got here? I'm sure Navarro Bowman. Okay, so we got Carlos Hyde and kick accuracy from our punter. So let's go ahead and check out these stats here for season number 1. I'm sure they're probably not too pretty. Aaron Rodgers. Oh my God. I have never. Oh wow. He had more picks than touchdowns. Are you kidding me? I wasn't expecting that. Holy crap. 3,800 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. Wow. Carlos Hyde, 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns, but 9 fumbles is not pretty whatsoever. Receiving, Odell Beckham over 1,000 yards and 2 touchdowns only. Jeremy Curley, 600 yards or 700 yards, 4 touchdowns, and Quentin Patton with 900 yards, 5 touchdowns. Blocking sacks had to be horrendous. 19 for Andrew Tiller, 11 for Trent Brown. Not as bad as I thought. I thought maybe somebody would be in the high 20s. Navarro Bowman led our team in tackles with 153. Tackles for loss would be 14 for Brandon Graham, 10 for Leonard Williams. QB sacks, 9.5 for DeForest Buckner, 6.5 for Leonard Williams, 6 for Brandon Graham. Interception, 3 for Jimmy Ward leading the team, and we had 6 total. So that is not good whatsoever. Fumble recoveries would be 2 leading the team for Carl Bradford, Michael Brockers, and Navarro Bowman. And then fumble recoveries, we had 4 players with 1, Carl Bradford, DeForest Buckner, Leonard Williams, and Chris Davis. And then defensive touchdowns, 0. So we were 28th in offensive yards this year, and defense was 13th, so not bad for the defense. Matthew Stafford wins MVP. And Brett, look at this. Every time someone trades Aaron Rodgers or something like this happens, Brett Hundley just comes out of nowhere and just performs. Maybe I should just trade for him instead and just start him. That's ridiculous. He's all the way up to an 82 overall already. And he was probably maybe in the 70s, maybe even in the 60s. But obviously no 49ers in here. LaShawn McCoy got up there. Coach of the Year goes to the Patriots. We are the 49ers. So in the NFC, Offensive Player of the Year goes to Matthew Stafford. And there's Brett Hundley at number 2, of course. No 49ers there. Defensive Player of the Year, Gerald Hodges. You got to be kidding me. This is ridiculous. Wow. No 49ers in there either. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Ezekiel Elliott. No 49ers. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jalen Smith. DeForest Buckner at number 8. So that is the closest of where we got. Best quarterback goes to Matthew Stafford, and Aaron Rodgers should not be in there. Devonta Freeman gets best running back. Best receiver goes to Golden Tate. Odell's not in here. Best O-line, Zach Martin didn't make it for once. D-line, Greg Hardy. That's interesting. Nobody. Best linebacker, Gerald Hodges. Best D-back, no. And best kicker, we got Phil Dawson winning best kicker. That was it. That was quite interesting. That is probably the worst I've ever seen Aaron Rodgers perform in Madden Simulation. So we're going to go ahead and sim to the offseason. And I'll see who we need to re-sign, and maybe we can go out and sign some good free agents. We'll see coming up in the offseason. So there's nobody to re-sign, and we're in free agency here, and we see Eric Berry out here, but he's getting highly pursued by the Redskins and the Dolphins. And honestly, I'm not really seeing anyone out here that I'm going to think of picking up. Probably just going to leave as is, but I wonder how much it would take to get Eric Berry. That'd be kind of an interesting move if we took him here. I highly doubt that's going to be close, and wow, he is going to cost quite a lot. So I'll keep checking out free agency real quick, but I'm sure we're probably not going to sign anybody, so I could just see you guys in the draft. Okay, so I lowballed Taylor Gabriel, and that was about it, and he accepted, so that's all I kind of went for there. So I'm going to scout a little bit more, and I'll see you guys in the draft. So heading into the draft here, we have the number 1 and number 2 overall pick, as well as the 16th. So not sure if I'm going to trade this away. The Colts are offering me the 3rd overall pick, but I don't want them to take my player. And I really feel like they will. So I'm going to pass up their offer, and I'm going to take my pick 1st overall. I saw this guy, and I was happy. This guy skipped the combine, so you know what that means. I'm not going to say it because it's not my thing. You can refer if you've seen Bengals videos. He likes guys that skip the combine. And this guy skipped the combine. He's a cornerback. Ja'Cory Styles out of USC, a cornerback. Projected to go in the early 1st round. Top 3 skills are actually not bad whatsoever. So we're going to take him 1st overall here. Let's see what he is. 78 with normal. It says I reached. He says he's ranked number 22. We drafted him number 1. So wishing he would have had quick or maybe even superstar, but not a bad pick. But I was really hoping that I could have a better development trait when it came to that. So got our next selection here. Not really sure if I'm going to take anybody just yet, so I could trade this pick. With this pick, I'm going to be taking a receiver, Sean Calhoun, out of Oklahoma. Has decent top 3 skills and had a pretty good combine, other than those other things, but was 2nd in the 40-yard dash and 1st in the 3-cone and 20-yard shuttle. Hopefully he's decent. He is 5'8", pretty short. He is 78 with quick. So it says he's ranked 20th. We drafted him at number 2. So I'm all right with that pick whatsoever. I'm glad he has quick development. So we're going to go ahead and sim to our next pick and see if we could draft anybody possibly, or I might just trade this pick as well. So I'm going to trade this pick down with the Bears to get a first and a second next year from them, and that should be all I do. So we're going to simulate to the end of the draft, and I'll see you guys next season. So you're trading Albert Wilson, Bruce Gaston, and a 4th round pick for a 1st round pick from the Broncos. So here we're trading our right tackle Brown and a 7th round pick for Gabe Jackson from the Raiders. So this trade trading a 3rd round pick next year and a 5th this year for Justin Poe from the Giants. So this guy was on the trade block. I'm just going to trade a 6th and a 7th round pick for Lane Taylor, a left guard from the Packers. So you're trading Zane Beadles, Greg Van Roten, and a 5th round pick next year for Weston Richburg from the Giants. So after upgrading my offensive line, that's all I'm basically going to do for these trades. So this is going to be our roster for season number 2. Offensive line has improved a lot. We got a pretty decent receiving core. They auto-signed Vernon Davis, but I guess I'm okay with it. I'm going to have to be since I can't really trade him. He's an 82 overall tight end, and he's coming back to the 49ers, so you know what? We'll let it slide. Defense has not changed a bit other than just this corner, and we're actually going to start our rookie corner over Jimmy Ward. So other than that, nothing changed on the defense, so we're going to go ahead and sim to the midseason mark, and I'll see you guys then. So at the midseason mark, we are 3-4. Currently still in the race for the division, in my opinion. It's very close. Some players here ready to negotiate, and we actually have some in order to re-sign. We have Odell here to re-sign, and he will accept. Nope, bonus has to be improved. So we still have some players here to re-sign, so I'm going to go ahead and go down the list and try and bring the majority of them back if possible. So this I did not know. I did not know that Weston Richburg had slow development. Wow. That is insane. I don't know if he started off at that or if he had that, but I really did not know that Weston Richburg had slow development. That could factor into his re-signing. Gabe Jackson is coming back. Carlos Hyde returns. Eric Reed will be returning as well. Going to be bringing back Aaron Lynch. And Lane Taylor declines. So we got a couple players to work on here. So we got Lane Taylor and Odell. Odell shouldn't be a problem. But Weston Richburg, I'm still concerned about maybe not re-signing him. And then Jimmy Ward, I'm unsure if I'm going to re-sign him as well. Other than that, we're ready to sim after scouting to the end of season number 2. Hopefully we can pull out some more victories and maybe we can make the playoffs this year. So at the end of season number 2, we went 5-11. Dang, we fell off hard. Last in the division once again. The Seahawks went 9-7 and won the division. Pretty interesting stuff there. I did not use any XP from last year, so DeForest Buckner might still have some. Yep, he has 33K. Definitely going to be using XP this year, but let's go ahead and check out the stats for this year. Aaron Rodgers, 4,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions, so he did not throw more touchdowns than picks this time. Rushing, Carlos Hyde, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns, not as many fumbles this year, which is very good. Receiving, Odell with 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns. Taylor Gabriel had 700 yards and only 1 touchdown. Vernon Davis with 500 yards and 6 touchdowns. And a rookie, Sean Calhoun, actually played really well. 900 yards and 12 touchdowns. That's impressive. Sacks, 14 for Justin Poe, 16 for Weston Richburg. Defense, Navarro Bowman led our team in tackles with 131. Tackles for loss. 15 for Leonard Williams would be leading the team. QB sacks, 15 for Brandon Graham, 7.5 for DeForest Buckner, and then 6.5 each for Leonard Williams and Aaron Lynch. Interceptions, 5 for Marcus Williams, 3 for Navarro Bowman, and 2 for rookie Ja'Cory Styles. Forced fumbles, 2 would lead the team from Leonard Williams and Jaquiski Tart. And hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Fumble recoveries, 2 from him as well, leading the team. And defensive touchdowns, saw 1, and the only one to Dante Johnson. So we're going to go ahead and check out awards after seeing we were 18th in offense, and on defense we were 15th. So about average for both. Of course, Brent Hundley wins MVP. What do you know? I might actually try and trade for him in my next rebuild that I do. Hopefully my quarterback situation would be bad, because I'd kind of want to trade for him and see how he does. Coach of the year goes to Mike Tomlin. Of course, we're not in here. And Brett Hundley wins offensive player of the year. Defensive player of the year goes to Deion Jones. We are not in here at all. Offensive rookie of the year goes to Parker Pop, that quarterback of the Chicago Bears. Sean Calhoun in 3rd. And the defensive rookie of the year goes to VJ Gorin. Ja'Cory Styles was 2nd. That bites. And I'm sure we did not win any of these awards here. Wow, we're way down. How is that possible? We were 8th there? Oh, no, that was rookie. Okay, I get it. So we probably didn't get any awards there. So we're going to sim to the offseason here, and I'll see you guys then for if we have any re-signings left to do. So Odell Beckham Jr. is coming back. So I gave Weston Richburg an offer anyway. I was debating on whether or not to sign him, so I gave him an offer and he declined. So he's going to play for a new team, which I'm not too mad about. And I'm definitely not going to put the franchise tag on him, because that is $6 million. I mean, not worth it for an offensive lineman, obviously. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring Jimmy Ward back, hopefully. And he accepts. One more player down on the list here, and that is going to be Lane Taylor. And he accepts as well. So we got some interesting options here in free agency. Larry Fitzgerald's out here with superstar development. I don't know if I'll do that or not. I saw Quincy Enunwa out here. He's actually an 87 with confidence with quick development. That's an interesting one as well. Weston Richburg, of course, is out here, but I saw David Andrews out here, and he's getting lowballed by the Texans, and he has quick development, so I'm probably going to pick him up. Other than that, probably nobody else. So we'll see what we do, and I'll come back with you guys once I'm finished with my decisions. So the only player I'd go after was David Andrews. He had quick development as an 83 overall center, so I'm all right with that. So we're going to go ahead and sim to the draft here and see what we can come up with. So in the draft here, we have the 3rd overall pick as well as the 5th and the 10th, and I believe that's all we have. I don't think we have another one. No, we do not. So not really sure what I'm going to pick up here. Probably a linebacker for sure. Other than that, not really too sure if I'm going to pick up anything else. I might just trade away the rest of my picks. So we'll see what we do here, and I'll come back at you guys when I make any final decisions. So here with my first pick, I'm going to trade this with the Colts to get a 1st this year and a 1st and a 2nd next year. And I'm going to trade my next pick with the Cowboys here to get a drop down to the 26th overall pick this year and pick up a 2nd next year as well. Trading this next pick with the Falcons here to get a 1st next year and a 2nd this year as well as a 3rd next year. Okay, so with this next pick, I might reach just a little bit with him, but linebackers are starting to go off the board here, so I'm going to pick him. Sanchez Worsley, a middle linebacker out of Texas A&M, has good drop through skills and had a very, very good combine. So I'm going to pick him up here. He is a 77 with quick, so I'm definitely all right with that pick. He's ranked number 24, and we drafted him at 19. So that honestly might be the only player I pick in this draft. So if I trade any more picks or make any picks, I'll let you guys know. Other than that, I may see you guys next season. So you're trading a 1st, a 3rd, and Chris Hairston for Chris Harris from the Broncos. So you're trading Paul Warlow, Arthur Brown, and a 4th round pick for Vontae Davis from the Colts. So you're trading Dan Williams and Jimmy Ward straight up for Dayon Buchanan. Going to move him to strong safety. And so I think that should conclude all of my trades for this year. This team is looking very, very good. Hopefully we can qualify for the playoffs this year, because this is definitely going to be the last year, because we will have no cap whatsoever if we keep going with this team. So here we go. We're going to go over the final roster here. On the offense, it's basically the same. And then on the defense, picked up Dayon Buchanan. Then we picked up a couple corners in Chris Harris and Vontae Davis. Other than that, and then we got a middle linebacker. Other than that, we are very much the same all around. So we're going to go ahead and sim to the midseason mark, and I will see you guys at that point. So at the midseason mark, we are 5-1-1 here in season number 3. We should be leading the division, I would hope, and we are. Everybody else is struggling in the division, but we did just lose to the Rams. So hopefully we can make the playoffs this year. We're going to go ahead and sim to the playoffs here, and I'll see you guys hopefully when we make the playoffs. So at the end of season number 3, we finally made the playoffs. I mean, granted, we went 9-6-1, and we barely got the playoff spot because of the Seahawks and the Cardinals being in here battling for the division. So I don't expect us to go far in the playoffs, but I hope we can somehow pull out a Super Bowl, because I highly doubt we have enough cap room to go one more season, but anything's possible. Aaron Rodgers, 4,000 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. Rushing, Carlos Hyde, 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns. A lot better season for him. Taylor Gabriel led our team in catches with 92, and he had 700 yards and 4 touchdowns. Odell Beckham with 900 yards and 6 touchdowns. And Sean Calhoun keeps performing. He has 1,000 yards and over 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns. Blocking, sacks, 12 for Justin Poe, 5 for Zach Martin, then 1 apiece for Terry Poole and Lane Taylor. Defense, Navarro Bowman led our team in tackles with 131. Tackles for loss would be 18 for Michael Brockers, 14 for Leonard Williams. QB sacks, 9.5 for DeForest Buckner, 8 for Brandon Graham. Interceptions, 5 for Chris Harris, 4 for Navarro Bowman, and 4 for Ja'Cory Styles. Forced fumbles, 3 would lead the team from Brandon Graham. Fumble recoveries, 2 would lead the team by him as well. Defensive touchdowns, 0. We're 15th in offensive yards, meaning the 6,000-yard mark. And then defense, we were 4th, so very much improved on the defense this year. And Ben Roethlisberger wins MVP. Brett Hundley up here still. He's a 95 overall. How is that possible? What the heck? Gus Bradley wins Coach of the Year. Chip Kelly gets in there at number 9. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Ezekiel Elliott, beating out Brett Hundley. Carlos Hyde coming in at number 9 in there. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Bobby Wagner. Navarro Bowman at number 6 in their Offensive Rookie of the Year. Samuel Katzenmoyer of the Giants. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Andre Easley. Sanchez Worsley at number 5 on that list. So, hopefully we can make it somewhat of a distance in the playoffs here, but I'm going to upgrade quick, and then I'll see you guys in the playoff game. So here's the team after upgrading. Heading into the playoff game here, we're going to go ahead, and we're actually going to bump Calhoun up to our second receiver. We're going to head into our playoff game, and see what our overall is. It's not going to be the same. So we're 90 compared, or we're an 88 compared to their 90, but it's probably a little bit higher because of the upgrading. But we'll see what happens, and I'll see you guys in the game. So here we are in the game, heading in the first quarter. Packers down, scoring touchdown, 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. We're going to go ahead and send the second quarter here. We drive down and do not get any points. Packers go and score another touchdown, and they get another one. That's 21-0. This is not looking good. We're going to sim the third quarter here, and finally we get a score on the board. 21-7, heading into the fourth quarter. Looks like the Packers are about to score once more, and they do get a field goal. We go down and score another touchdown. They get another field goal. We don't get any points. We are going to be eliminated in the first week, 27-14, the final score. So, guys, I hate to say it, yet another rebuild where we did not win a Super Bowl. We've not won a Super Bowl this year. I'm really mad. But whenever I did rebuilds off of YouTube, I've won the Super Bowl before. I don't know what's going on, but thank you guys for watching this rebuild. Hopefully we can win the Super Bowl in one of our next rebuilds. So leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Comment your ideas for future videos down below and what I should do next for a rebuild, and don't forget to subscribe. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.